Hey everyone, Richie here. I've just popped into Exclusive Wraps here in Brisbane. We're going to go inside, have a chat to them, find out exactly what's going on when my car gets PPF'd next week. So I know I'm getting XPEL wrap. Let's go in, let's go and have a chat. Let's find out all about the product. Let's see why this product is so good, see if it's worth the money. What's going on?
I'm hiding.
What are you guys doing? Work? So guys, this is actually my friend Jeff. So Jeff he's invited me to come down, check it out, learn a little bit more about the product. I don't even know exactly what I'm getting, but what we're gonna do is find out what is happening. Steve, how are you, man?
Good, how are you?
Good. Steve is the expert, so we'll fire some questions away at him, annoy him. I can see he's busy working, but we'll see if we can steal him for 5 minutes. Whoa.
That's PPF applied over the pinstripes.
So what you're saying is you actually don't need to prep paint?
Well, you don't have to do paint correction per se, because the PPF itself is going to hide a lot of blemishes. A lot of people will try and sell that, you have to do multi-stage paint corrections before you put film on to make it absolutely perfect. That's absolutely not the case. PPF itself hides a lot.
Is that because of the glue or?
Because it's such a thick amount of clear film. There's another good example as well. Same car, that door is PPF,
Wow.
the other one is not. So obviously really deep scratches, yes, they need to be corrected, or in some cases they may need to be paint repaired if you've got really poor paint. But hopefully most people will get the PPF put on before the paint gets to that stage.
So when someone goes and picks up a new car, will their new paint look as good as that on the right?
It varies a lot depending on the dealership, how many people have handled the car in between. I mean, I think most people probably don't realize their car's probably been washed 5-6 times before it's even gotten to Australia.
I know when I worked at a dealership, you've got the guys on the boat, the people touching it as it goes through the build.
Absolutely.
Gets moved on and off by probably 10 different people on boats and at docks, the truck drivers. People don't realize their car's been driven quite a few times already.
Yeah.
So when your car comes, guys, it is most likely not going to look like that on the right. Perfect. You'll have small marks and that's completely normal.
Yep.
Having your wrap over that will just make it perfect without having to worry about the paint protection, the paint correction.
Correct.
I'm dropping my car in on Monday. What happens? What's the process? I'm going to give you my keys. Boom,
Yep.
Here's my keys. What do you do?
First thing we're going to do, a couple of test laps around up. No, I'm just kidding. Absolutely not. We do not drive clients' cars anywhere. What's going to happen? Basically, your car's going to get here. We're going to run around, take some photos. That'll probably be me, reference photos, so that I can set up the templates for it. Meanwhile, one of the team is likely to take the car around to the wash bay, begin the decontamination process. So they'll give it a very good, clean clay bar, and then bring it back into the shop. It'll likely end up on one of these hoists here. And lastly, it'll get an alcohol-based surface clean. Basically, that dries without leaving any films on the surface, essentially, any oils, that kind of thing. Once the film's all cut, we'll bring it out here. It'll go into one of the boxes at the front, and the guys will start putting it on. Once all the film's on, it'll get washed. It'll get checked again once that's complete. Make sure all the edges are sitting down where we want it. Generally go over everything else, so your glass, sometimes the interiors, things like that. And if PPF is all it's getting done, then that's where it ends. It'll sit in our pickup bay and someone will pick it up. If it's getting other things like your coating or your window tint, it'll get those done straight after, essentially, and then it's ready to go.
You guys use XPEL tint too, don't you?
We do. We use XPEL Prime Tint, and we use XPEL's Fusion ceramic coatings as well. So they've got one for satin PPF and one for the gloss as well.
So it's a pretty big job. It's not quick. It doesn't come in here and it's in and out. I'm pretty sure you guys actually have a whole wash bay as well, don't you?
We do.
Just for size, guys, there's Steve. Look at the size of this wash bay. What is this, man? Why is it so giant?
It's just, well, once you get a car in there and start doing laps of it with a hose and bucket and things like that, doesn't necessarily feel that big, but you can do 2 cars at a time. So that's
the good thing is, and that's another thing I love about you guys is belts, steel, lots of space around cars. You don't have to worry about giving your keys to someone who's going to scratch your car.
Oh, that's right. No belts. No belts at all.
No belts. Everyone just gets to wear professional looking, comfy, casual clothes. Guys, my Supra feels very inadequate here. Look
Not
at this
at all.
GT3 RS, man. Holy cow. How many of those are around?
Oh, I hear not very many, 3 or 4 locally thus far.
Jeez. Steve, I noticed there's a lot of hoists here.
Yeah, most definitely. Basically, exactly that. The more you can see, the better the positioning, the better the finish that you can provide. And obviously, it helps to not break your back every day. We try to provide our guys with the best tools possible.
Looks like a cool place to work.
I think it's pretty good. Hopefully everyone else does too.
Pre-cut that one.
Pre-cut.
Holy crap, that's it.
That's almost it. You get a little more water on the surface.
And what are you doing there? Just pushing all the water out?
That is, yes, squeegeeing out the moisture. There will still be a little bit left in there. That just evaporates over time, but that's effectively how it's done. Pre-cut is definitely a lot quicker, a lot more straightforward, but it does require a really good understanding of how to stretch for it.
So again, water, soap.
Very lightly soapy water, yep.
Thanks for showing us what you've just done there, man. I'm just curious though, what was that? That was a squeegee.
Squeegee, yes. Tools of the trade. So obviously they come in many shapes and sizes, customize them for specific areas. Sometimes there's no standard shape, you just make something that fits the bill, but yeah, big ones, small ones, rectangular ones.
Money tins?
Money tin. No, unfortunately no money in there. This is actually where we put used blades and things like that.
Yeah,
safety first. Again, I guess a trick of the trade is use as many blades as possible if you need to trim, because the fresher your blade, the sharper it is, the cleaner your cut.
You got pencils. What are these T things?
Pencils. So these are little, I think they're called flex streams. These are just tucking tools. So tucking under rubbers and things like that. They're useful to have. Got little pick tools as well. Realistically, they're just a collection of things that we've come across over the years. Tweezers, always useful for picking up little edges and peeling out material. Pencils. Got a bit of Johnson's baby shampoo for mixing up our soapy water solution. No more tears. What else have I got here? I've got some tar remover. I didn't even put that there. I think someone's bombing my trolley with random things. Some surface cleaner, some gel sprayers. So often use gel when installing as well. And this one's just some plain water for flushing out gel and things like that.
Oh, hey. Just doing some final checks on this car. Customer's picking it up in a couple hours. So yeah, just making sure all the edges are all down, all good. Nothing that is popping up. So that's what this little tool here is for. It's a wrap tool, but we use it to get into like tight little space. I do that kind of throughout the whole process. Sometimes, yeah, like sometimes during the job, sometimes at the end of the job. So
Steve, man, thank you so much for having me in.
Left-hand handshake.
Yeah, left-hand handshake, but hopefully right-handed back in front now.
Oh, you can just flip the video.
It was really awesome, man. You taking your time, show us around the place, see what it's all about. Actually put a wrap on for us. Obviously it's small, but still it was cool to see it happening. Explaining to us the pros, the cons, all those sort of stuff, guys. It's been really, really cool. So thanks heaps, Steve.
Thanks for coming through.
No, it's cool, man. Like, look where we are. Thanks for having me in here.